Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, May 13th, 2022. Today we're going to recap yesterday's NBA and Stanley Cup playoff games, look ahead to tonight's games as well as the rest of the weekends. Major League Baseball, WNBA, Major League Soccer, golf, NASCAR, my latest NBA mock draft, news and notes, and my best bet of the day. Alrighty, we're going to start with the NBA like we've been doing on the show a lot of late. So, we're going to get right into it. The Heat eliminate the Philadelphia 76ers 99-90. That was the deceiving final score because Philly absolutely got destroyed at home. Jimmy Butler, 32 points. Lead the way for the Heat, for them to go to their second Eastern Conference Final in 3 years. And Joel Embiid had 20 and 12 for the Sixers. And now a lot of off-season questions abound for the Philadelphia 76ers, for sure. And the Mavericks over the Suns 113-86, the fourth Game 7. Luka Doncic was the best player on the court. 33 points, 11 boards, 8 assists. DeAndre Ayton had 21-11 for the Suns. All right, 2 Game 6s going on tonight. 7:30 ESPN, you have the Celtics and the Bucks. Bucks win, they move on to their second consecutive Eastern Conference Final. Celtics win, they force a Game 7 and potentially get ready for a rematch against the Heat. So, should be very interesting. My projections here is Bucks by 3.25, total 220 and 11/20. The statuses of Chris Middleton and Robert Williams are in the air. Say if Middleton plays and Williams doesn't, it just goes to 4.25. If just Middleton's out, it's just a quarter. And if they're both out, it's 1.25. So, the line here is suggesting that both players are out because it's 1.5 and 211. But guess what? I'm taking the over again. The over's been popular. It hit the other day. I think it's going to hit again regardless of the status of Middleton and Williams. I think there's going to be a lot of three-pointers. And at gunpoint, oh my God, I don't know who wins this game. I really like what I've seen from the Bucks. I can't underestimate the heart of a champion, so I'm going to say that the Bucks close out and go to their second consecutive Eastern Conference Final. And in the Grizzlies and the Warriors, 10 o'clock ESPN. My projection without John Morant is Warriors by 11.75, total 221 and 2/5. And it is 8 and 217. I love the Warriors, and I love the over. I think that Golden State's offense will bounce back in a major way. Memphis is going to see some regression. So I'm going to go with another over. And I would same game parlay the Warriors minus the 8 and the over 217. All right, Sunday, Game 7. On ABC, time to be determined, or might end up being on TNT for what we know. The Mavericks and the Suns, and I think it's a TBD because I think hockey is going to factor into this as well, amazingly enough. So keep an eye on some hockey Game 7s that could affect the Mavericks-Suns TV time. And I think that the Dallas Stars-Calgary Flames thing is what is the TBD about this, because I don't think that Dallas wants the Stars and the Mavericks in Game 7 at the same time. My projection is the Suns by 9, total 216.75, and it's 6 and 209.5. Again, another over I absolutely love. I think that the Suns' offense will bounce back. Dallas is an interesting situation on the road. They've been really, really bad on the road and really dominant at home. And the same for the Suns in the series. I love the Suns. I laid the points and I'll take the over. I'll do the same game parlay, but podcast play will be the over. And let's say Boston wins tonight. Game 7 would be 3:30 on ABC between these two clubs. My projection is the same line as it is in the in tonight's game, except with the Boston Celtics as the favorite. So, I think personally the Bucks will move on, but I did pick the Celtics before the series. But it looks likely that Middleton's coming back, and I think that's a game changer. And that's why I'm willing to go with Milwaukee here in this series. So I think we'll see the Warriors for sure close out tonight. I think the Bucks will close out tonight, but I don't feel good about it. And I think the Suns will close out on Sunday. All right, now I'll move on to the Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll go over the games from yesterday. Look ahead to the weekend. Bruins over the Hurricanes, 5-2 to force the Game 7. Lightning over the Maple Leafs, 4-3 in overtime on a game winner by Braden Point to force a Game 7. Blues over the Wild, 5-1 to win the series and advance to the second round. So they're the second team into the second round, joining the Avs to set up a good second round series. And the Oilers over the Kings, 4-2 to force a Game 7. So we have 3 Game 7s coming up. And now the question is, will there be 3 more? 7 o'clock on TNT tonight, you have the Rangers against the Penguins. The Rangers are favored in this game because of the possibility of no Sidney Crosby. This is going to be a really interesting game. The Rangers are minus 120. Pittsburgh's even money. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 195. Pittsburgh plus 1.5 is minus 240. If Sidney Crosby comes back tonight, I think Pittsburgh closes out the Rangers. If Crosby's not back tonight, the Rangers will force a Game 7. So, for the play of the game, I like the over. Even without Crosby in this game, potentially, I like the over. Because I still think that Louis Domingue could let up a few goals. And with Crosby, obviously, Pittsburgh's going to rock and roll. So I really like the over. I think that Igor Shesterkin has obviously had a rough go of it. Part of me thinks he's injured because he has not played this poorly all season long. So I really love the over in this game. So, like I said, if Sidney Crosby plays, Pittsburgh will close out the Rangers tonight. If Sidney Crosby does not play, the Rangers will force a Game 7 at Madison Square Garden on Sunday night. 7:30 on TBS, you have the Panthers and the Capitals. Panthers minus 184, Capitals plus 152, over under 6.5. Overs minus 140, unders plus 114. Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 128, Capitals plus 1.5 is minus 154. I do not think the Capitals will force a Game 7. I think the Panthers close out. And not only do I think they'll close out tonight, I actually think that they're going to do it in regulation at minus 115. The Panthers are a team that really showed adversity all year. They came back from 3-0 down at home in Game 5. There's a lot of heart for them in the postseason game. So I'm confident that they'll close out the Capitals. And I think they're going to do it in regulation minus 115. And I think that's my most confident pick of these hockey games tonight. And 9:30 TNT of the Flames and the Stars, Game 6. Calgary's minus 170, Dallas is plus 140, over under 5.5, overs plus 116, unders minus 142. Flames -1.5 is +146. Stars +1.5 is -178. I love Dallas to force a Game 7. +140. I really feel good that Dallas is going to force a Game 7. They're playing great at home, other than Game 4. But I really think that they bounce back. Jake Ottinger has been tremendous in this series. So I love the Dallas Stars at home tonight to force a Game 7, +140. All right, Saturday, Game 7, 4:30 on ESPN between the Bruins and the Hurricanes. This is going to be a really fun game. Carolina's -134, Boston +112, over under 5.5. Overs -118, unders -104. Boston +1.5 is -235. Carolina -1.5 is +190. The Hurricanes have been great at home in the series and all season. I'm taking them +120 to win at home in regulation to advance to face the winner of the Rangers-Penguins series. 7 o'clock on TNT, the Lightning and the Maple Leafs. You would think that this will be Kenny Albert and company on this game. The Leafs are -120. The Lightning are even money, over under 6.5. Overs -114. Unders -106. Lightning +1.5 is -235. Leafs -1.5 is +190. I love the Lightning. Love them. Always bet against the Maple Leafs in a Game 7 at home. They're the perennial choke artists. I can't pick them to win a Game 7 at home unless I see it. So I'm going with Tampa at even money to win in Toronto in Game 7. And 10 o'clock on ESPN, you have the Kings and the Oilers. This should be a fun Game 7. I was not expecting this series to go 7. I thought 6. But here we are at 7. Edmonton's -220. The Kings are +180. Over under 6.5. Overs -105. Unders -114. Kings +1.5 is -142. Oilers -1.5 is +118. For this game, I expect to probably see Gord Miller do the play-by-play here. I do not think it will be Leah Hextall, for sure. But I like the over in this game. The over has been popular in the series, although last night, best bet, it didn't work out. So I'm going to go over 6.5 between the Oilers and the Kings in that Game 7. And the TBD times for the Game 7s on Sunday, Caps, Panthers, Stars, Flames, and Penguins, Rangers. But I think Pens, Rangers will probably be at 7 because it's Pens, Rangers. I think Stars, Flames will be at night at like 9:30, maybe like 9:45. And then Capitals, Panthers, I could see that being like at 3 or something like that, or 3:30. But I think that if we'll see Game 7s on Sunday, all the home teams will win. But if Sidney Crosby, let's say the Rangers force a Game 7 and Sidney Crosby's back for Game 7, I still think New York wins just because of home ice and the fans and the Garden. And I think it's something special playing at the Garden. I really do. And that crowd is just the best. So, I think that if Pittsburgh wants to win this series, I really think Sid needs to come back tonight. That's all I got to say. So it should be a fun weekend of hockey. All right, Major League Baseball. We'll go over the games from yesterday and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. Astros over the Twins 11-3. Mets over the Nats 4-1. Astros over the Tigers. Or A's over the Tigers 5-3. Orioles over the Cardinals 3-2. Astros over the Twins 5-0. Reds over the Pirates 4-0. Rangers over the Royals 3-1. Yankees over the White Sox 15-7. And the Phillies over the Dodgers 9-7. All right. So tonight's games, 6:30 of the Reds and the Pirates, all night games tonight, which is interesting. Tyler Mahle and Mitch Keller. Pittsburgh -120, Reds +102, over under 8, overs -104, unders -118, Reds -1 is +162, Pittsburgh +1 is -100. I'm going with the Reds as a road underdog again. Their favorite FBI. Brewers Marlins. Corbin Burns and Pablo Lopez. Brewers minus 146. Marlins plus 124. Over under 6. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 125. Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 150. For this game, I am going to go with the Brewers first half run line minus a half at plus 106. Astros Nationals at 7 o'clock. Framber Valdez and Josiah Gray. Astros minus 158. Nats plus 134. Over under 8. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 110. Nats plus 1.5 is minus 132. Astros are slight FBI favorites, but the Nats have a 48.6% chance to win this game. And getting them a plus 134 is pretty good. So I'm going to go with the Nationals. I know I've been picking against the Astros a lot on the podcast lately. Orioles, Tigers, Jordan Lyles and Eduardo Rodriguez. Tigers minus 142, Orioles plus 120, over under 8.5. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 164. Tigers minus 1.5 is plus 136. For this game, I'm going to go first half over 4.5 at minus 108. You have the Mets hosting the Mariners. Marco Gonzalez and Max Scherzer. Mets minus 3, Mariners plus 190, over under 7.5. Overs plus 102, unders minus 124. Mets minus 1.5 is even money. Mariners plus 1.5 is minus 118. I know everything's inflated because of Scherzer. But I'm going to go with full game over 7.5 plus 102. Just banking on like the bullpen to blow up somewhere. Blue Jays and the Rays. Kevin Gausman and Drew Rasmussen. Blue Jays minus 124. Rays plus 106. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Blue Jays minus 1.5 is plus 134. Rays plus 1.5 is minus 162. I am going with the Rays. I don't know why they're a home underdog here, but they are. I think the favoritism for the Blue Jays from the preseason. Give me the Rays. 7:20, the Padres and the Braves on Apple TV. Yu Darvish and Max Fried. Braves minus 148, Padres plus 126, over under 7. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Padres plus 1.5 is minus 178. Braves minus 1.5 is plus 146. In this game, I'm going to go with under 3.5 first half total runs plus 110. 8 o'clock, Rangers hosting the Red Sox. You have Nick Pivetta and Dane Dunning. Texas is minus 118. Boston's even money. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 102. Unders even money. Texas plus 1.5 is minus 205. Red Sox minus 1.5 is plus 168. Red Sox favored on the run line. Rangers favored on the money line. I'm going with Texas minus 118. That's a layup. Guardians Twins. Aaron Savali and Sonny Gray. So the Guardians return to play after the COVID pause for one day. Twins minus 166. Guardians plus 140. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 152. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 126. This is a tough one. But I'm going to go with first half result Twins minus 115. Yankees White Sox. Garrett Cole and Vince Velasquez. Yanks minus 168. White Sox plus 142. Over under 7.5 minus 110 each way. Yankees minus 1.5 is minus 102. White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 118. I love the over. The Yankees pretty much did it by themselves yesterday, but that over was done in like the 6th inning. I love the over again. With the bullpens potentially blowing up. Giants Cardinals, you have Logan Webb and Jordan Hicks. Giants minus 124, Cardinals plus 106, over under 7.5, overs minus 102, unders minus 118. Giants -1.5 is +136. Cardinals +1.5 is -164. FBI is projecting Giants in a big way, but Vegas doesn't agree. For this game, I'm going to go with first half under 3.5 +110. 8:30, Rockies hosting the Royals. Zach Greinke against Kyle Freeland. Rockies -142, Royals +120, over under 10. Overs -118, unders -102. Royals +1.5 is -134. Rockies -1.5 is +128. I like the under a lot. That is just too high of a total. 9:30, Angels Athletics. Chase Silseth making his debut against Dalton Jeffries. Angels -146, Oakland +124, over under 8. Overs -102, unders -120. Angels -1.5 is +116. Oakland +1.5 is -140. Oakland has a 48.5% chance to win according to FBI. They're +124. Give me the A's. Apple TV, Cubs D-backs. Drew Smiley and Zach Davies. D-backs -130, Cubs +110, over under 8.5. Overs -115, unders -105. Cubs +1.5 is -176. D-backs -1.5 is +146. I really like Chicago here on the road. They're FBI favored, but they're an underdog at Vegas. And last but not least, the Phillies and the Dodgers. Kyle Gibson and Clayton Kershaw. Dodgers -235, Philly +194, over under 7.5. Overs -112, unders -108. Phillies +1.5 is -104. Dodgers -1.5 is -115. I'm going with the over. And then the weekend, 2:15 Giants Cardinals, 4 o'clock Fox Sports 1 Padres Braves, A's hosting the Angels game 1 doubleheader. Orioles at the Tigers, 6 o'clock Brewers at the Marlins, Blue Jays at the Rays, 6:30 Reds at the Pirates, 7 o'clock Red Sox at the Rangers, Astros Nats, Guardians Twins, Yankees White Sox, Mariners Mets, 8 o'clock Cubs D-backs, Royals Rockies. Both those are 8 o'clock. 9:30 of doubleheader game 2, Angels A's. And 10 o'clock, you have the Phillies and the Dodgers. And then Sunday, the 15th, 11:30 on Peacock, you have the Padres at the Braves. 1:30, Reds, Pirates, Astros, Nats, Orioles, Tigers, Brewers, Marlins, Mariners, Mets, Blue Jays, Rays. 2 o'clock, Guardians, Twins, Yankees, White Sox. 2:30 of the Rangers hosting the Red Sox. 3 o'clock, Royals at the Rockies. 4 o'clock, Angels at the Athletics. Cubs at the Diamondbacks. Phillies at the Dodgers. And on Sunday Night Baseball, we have the Giants against the Cardinals. All right, now move on to the WNBA. We're just going to quickly look at the games for the W for the weekend. Tonight, 7 o'clock, you have the Wings and the Mystics. 7:30, Aces Dream. 8 o'clock on Twitter, you have the Fever and the Liberty. Saturday, 3 o'clock on ABC, Commissioner's Cup, Mercury Storm. So that is a great game on ABC. 7 o'clock on Facebook, you have the Sparks and the Sun. And 8 o'clock on NBA TV, you have the Sky and the Lynx. And then Sunday, 2 o'clock, you have the Wings and the Liberty. And 3 o'clock on Prime Video, Commissioner's Cup game between the Dream and the Fever. All right, Major League Soccer. We'll quickly look at that slate for the weekend. So, Saturday, 3 o'clock, you have Toronto hosting Orlando, Colorado hosting LAFC, Club Football Montreal at Charlotte, Columbus at NYCFC, San Jose at Vancouver, Red Bulls at Philadelphia. That's a good one at 7:30. 8 o'clock, you have Cincinnati at Chicago, DC United at Miami, 8:30 of Nashville at Houston, 9:30 Austin at Salt Lake, 10 o'clock KC at Portland, and 10:30 Dallas at LA Galaxy. Sunday, 1:30 on ESPN, you have New England at Atlanta. And 4 o'clock on ESPN, you have Minnesota at Seattle. So you have 2 soccer games on ESPN on Sunday. All right, now I'm going to go over the current leaderboard at the Byron Nelson Championship. It's been an interesting tournament so far, to say the least. Your leader right now, with a score of 12 under, is Sebastian Munoz. He's running away with it so far. Tied for second with 8 under. Mito Pereira, Peter Malnati, and Kyungu Lee, along with Justin Lauer. 6th place with 7 under is Kyle Wisher. In 7th with the 6 under, you have Seamus Power, Charles Schwartzel, Carlos Ortiz, JJ Spawn, and David Skins. Tied for 12th with 5 under, Christian Ziedenhout, Matt Kuchar, Hideki Matsuyama, Dustin Johnson, Scott Stallings, Matthias Schwab, Conrad Schindler, Joachim Neiman, Adam Scott, Scotty Scheffler, Jordan Spieth, Ryan Palmer, and Dolly Vanderwall. Tied for 25th with 4 under, Adam Schenk, Brett Snecker, Jason Day, Mackenzie Hughes, Tyler Duncan, Aaron Weiss, Austin Smotherman, Scott Gacheski, Aaron Wright, Bryce Garnett, Taylor Hogue, Justin Thomas, Jason Kokrak, Trey Mullinax, Jared Wolf, Sam Piercy, Max McGreevy, although those two that I just listed off, McGreevy and Piercy, are in the tie for 40th with 3 under, along with James Hahn, Lucas Donald, Peter Yulin, Keith Mitchell, Matt Trainer, Ian Poulter, Rory Sabatini, James Ha, Kidrak Apirnot, Paul Barjan, David Lipsky, Sam Ryder, Brett Druitt, Dylan Fratelli, Vincent Whaley, Francesco Molinari, Bayo Hostler, Maverick McNeely, Adam Novak, Chasen Headley, Adam Svensson, Andrew Novak, and Joseph Bromlett. Tied for 64th with 2 under. I'm going to go through notables at this point. Wesley Bryan, Doc Redmond, Wyndham Clark, Michael Thompson, Robert Streb, Alex Loren, Patrick Rogers, Adam Putnam, Cam Champ, Brendan Gray, Seb Straka, Brian Stewart, Vincent Taylor, Mark Hubbard. Tied for 81st with 1 under. Now the scores are moving on the fly. Matthew Neesmith, Ryan Ramore, Emiliano Grillo, Bubba Watson, Sodi Kadiara, Pat Kazir, Brendan Todd, Roger Sloan, Hank Labodia, Sam Reeves, Stefan Yeager, I should say Seth Reeves, Ben Coles, Jonathan Vegas, Kramer Hickok, Walter Zalatoris, Xander Schauffele is in the tie with at 108th at even with Kevin Tway, Mariano Gillick, Taylor Moore, Bo Hogg, Henrik Stetson, Nate Lashley, Charles Howell III, Nate Taylor, Tommy Fleetwood, and Adam Cook. Tied for 127th with 1 over. Matt Wallace, Joaquin Herman, Luke Liz, Taylor Gooch, Kevin Kisner, Cam Piercy, Sam Burns, Mark Leishman, Pat Perez, Brandon Wu, and Grayson Sig. Tied for 142nd with 2 over. Hudson Swafford, Adam Hadwin, Chester V, Matt Wolf, Matt Leard, Lee Westwood, Cam Thompson. Tied for 151st with 4 over. You have Dylan Wu. 155th with 5 over is Richie Wierenski. All right, now we'll move on to NASCAR. We have 2 races this weekend. We have Truck and Cup. The truck race will actually be tomorrow night. For once, at 8 o'clock on Fox Sports 1 from Kansas. And now I'm going to pull up DraftKings for the odds. So the Heart of America 200. My pick for this race. Someone I really don't like picking, but I kind of have a feeling that Carson Hosfar is going to break through. 12-1. That's interesting odds. So I'll go with him at 12-1 to win the Heart of America 200. And the Cup Series, which will be Sunday at 3 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. The Advent Health 400. My pick for this race, I think that Truex is due to come through. So I'm going to go with Martin Truex Jr. at 10-1 to win the Advent Health 400 on Sunday. All right, now I'm going to do my NBA mock draft. I was supposed to do this on the Thursday podcast, but I forgot. I'm doing it today. Number 1, the Houston Rockets. Paolo Banchero, power forward, center, Duke. You can make a case for 3 guys to go first between Banchero, Jabari Smith, and Chet Holmgren. I like the idea of Banchero with Albert Sengun and Christian Wood. That's like a really exciting front court. Number 2, the Orlando Magic. Jabari Smith, power forward, Auburn. The Magic can pick one of the 2 of the top 3. Smith, you can make a case as the safest bet of the top 3 prospects because of his fine all-around play in college. Number 3, the Detroit Pistons. Chet Holmgren, center, Gonzaga. The Pistons are more than thrilled with landing Holmgren here, who I feel is a good fit with the team. I really like the idea of Kate Cunningham and Holmgren together. Number 4, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Sheldon Sharp, shooting guard, Kentucky. The Thunder are a complete wild card with this 4th pick. And I like the idea of Sharp here with the young core they have. He didn't play for Kentucky, but should still be a lottery pick due to his talent that he showed while in high school. Number 5, the Indiana Pacers. Jaden Ivey, shooting guard, Purdue. The Pacers are in a little bit of an unknown heading into the offseason in terms of which direction to go. Ivy is somebody that has drawn Ja Morant comparisons, which I don't think is ideal for somebody. But they say that from an explosiveness standpoint, from getting into the paint, but he lacks the distribution skills of Morant. 6, the Portland Trailblazers. Keegan Murray, power forward, Iowa. This pick would make a ton of sense for the Blazers considering their need for a forward. Murray is someone who lacks really not much. He's NBA ready, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and he has a good offensive game too. Number 7, the Sacramento Kings. Ochai Agbaji, shooting guard, Kansas. This pick might be a reach, but it does make sense for the Kings considering the loss of Buddy Hield. Agbaji really put himself in a good spot to return to school, and he won the most outstanding player in the tournament, and he's now likely to be a first-rounder. Number 8, the New Orleans Pelicans from the Los Angeles Lakers. A.J. Griffin, small forward, Duke. The Pelicans really did leave a great impression on the what could be after their playoff loss to the Suns. Griffin had a fine season for the Blue Devils, and he can come in and provide some good shooting and athleticism. Number 9, the San Antonio Spurs. Jalen Duren, center, Memphis. The Spurs have some options here with the pick. Duren has double-double potential, and I think he would fit nice with DeJounte Murray. Number 10, the Washington Wizards. Benedict Mathurin, shooting guard, small forward, Arizona. The Wizards taking Mathurin would be interesting considering they have an abundance of wings. Mathurin really had a breakout year for Arizona this past year, and he is your classic 3-and-D wing that a ton of teams will covet. Number 11, the New York Knicks. Johnny Davis, guard, Wisconsin. What the Knicks have been lacking is a guard that is consistent in all aspects of the game. Davis had a career year at the Badgers this past season and really is a perfect Tom Thibodeau type of player. Number 12, the Oklahoma City Thunder from Los Angeles Clippers. Jeremy Schoen, small forward, Baylor. The Thunder are a team that needs some help on the wing. Schoen is someone that really showed off an elite skill set this past season with the Bears, and I like the fit here with the Thunder. 13, the Charlotte Hornets. Ty Washington, guard, Kentucky. The Hornets get a player that is super duper entertaining in Washington, and I like the thought of him and LaMelo Ball together. That's intriguing. Number 14, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kendall Brown, small forward, Baylor. The Cavaliers have a lot to be proud of from this past season, but here I have them taking Brown to add to their young core. The Cavs' biggest need is on the wing, and Brown has excellent offensive consistency, or showed really good offensive consistency in college. 15, the Charlotte Hornets from the New Orleans Pelicans. Mark Williams, center, Duke. The third Duke player in this mock I've gone to Charlotte. The Hornets badly need a center, and Williams is someone who had a great tournament in which his stock rose, but he doesn't have high upside. Number 16, the Atlanta Hawks. Dyson Daniels, shooting guard, G League Unite. The Hawks are a real candidate to trade their first-round selection because they want that second star to go with Trae Young. People are skeptical of Daniels due to his shooting numbers, but he is a solid defender and gets to the basket. 17, Houston Rockets from the Brooklyn Nets. Tari Eason, power forward, LSU. The Rockets are quietly a team that really things broke right here with them getting the pick here. Eason had a breakout year for the Tigers this past year and is an excellent defender, but has some offensive flaws. 18, the Chicago Bulls. Nikola Jovic, power forward, Serbia. The Bulls are a huge wild card in this draft and what they can do. Jovic is the safest bet of the international players in the draft, and he's your classic point forward type of player that does a little bit of everything. 19, the Minnesota Timberwolves. E.J. Little, power forward, Ohio State. This would be an interesting pick for the Timberwolves on multiple levels. Little is somebody that is a little older, but improved each and every year at Ohio State. Number 20, the San Antonio Spurs from the Toronto Raptors. Osame Dieng, small forward, France. With their second of three picks, I have the Spurs grabbing an international prospect, one of the more interesting ones of the draft. Dieng was inconsistent in the NBL, but has tremendous upside. Number 21, the Denver Nuggets. Malachi Barnham, shooting guard, Ohio State. If the Nuggets nail this pick or trade it for a veteran, then it puts them among the frontrunners to win the 2023 NBA title with the players that are returning from injuries. Barnum can shoot it well from three and gets in the paint a lot, which the Nuggets could use off the bench. 22, the Memphis Grizzlies. Wendell Moore Jr., shooting guard, small forward, Duke. The Grizzlies are just picking for depth on a potential title contender with their selections. Moore had his best season as a junior after being thought out as a lottery pick 2 years ago, and this could be a steal. 23, the Brooklyn Nets from the Philadelphia 76ers. Marjon Bisham, shooting guard, G League Ignite. Here I have another G League player going in the draft, this time to Brooklyn. Beauchamp is a good scorer, and he can be a heat check guy for the Nets, who could end up back in title contention next season if they keep the current core group intact. Number 24, the Milwaukee Bucks. Blake Wesley, shooting guard, Notre Dame. The Bucks are a team that could use young wings off the bench. Wesley is a raw player that really didn't impress much in college, but is unafraid to score. 25, the San Antonio Spurs from the Boston Celtics. Christian Braun, shooting guard, Kansas. With their first rounder, the Spurs land an interesting prospect in Braun. He may end up going back to school next season. Braun is already someone who is an NBA-ready 3-and-D wing and is good at attacking the rim. Number 26, the Dallas Mavericks. Patrick Baldwin IV, forward, Milwaukee. Baldwin was a massive disappointment this past season with injuries, and I feel that he probably should have performed for a larger branded program considering the hype he had. Baldwin could rediscover his potential he had coming into college on the right team. 27, the Miami Heat. Kennedy Chandler, point guard, Tennessee. The Heat are excellent at developing young players into their system. The Heat might be looking at long-term options at point guard with Kyle Lowry getting older, so Chandler here makes sense with his shot creating and good handle. 28, the Golden State Warriors. Jaden Hardy, shooting guard, G League Unite. The Warriors are a likely candidate to trade out of the spot, but Hardy here isn't a bad pick. He is a player that didn't live up to hype with the G League, but has a ton of potential that he could unlock. 29, the Memphis Grizzlies. Walker Kessler, center, Auburn. A long-term need for a team that's heading for title contention, if they aren't there already, is at center. Kessler is an absolute monster defensively in the paint and blocks shots like there's no tomorrow. And number 30, Oklahoma City Thunder from the Phoenix Suns, Christian Coloco, center, Arizona. The Thunder could absolutely trade up from the spot along with their mid-first rounder to get back into the top 10. But here I have them going with Coloco. He broke out the season for the Wildcats and averaged a double-double and over 2 blocks a game. All right, so that's it for the mock draft. And now I'm going to talk about Sunday's episode of American Idol. It is your top 5. And Hunter Girl, Nicolina, Noah, Fritz, and who am I missing? Leah. So it should be a really fun show. I think that everybody has a shot here to get into the final because that's how good everybody is. As the top 5 travel to Vegas and to be mentored by Carrie Underwood, and each contestant will perform 2 songs, 2-hour episode. If you ask me who's going to the finale, your top 3, I'm going to say it's Hunter Girl, Nicolina, and Noah. Wouldn't rule out Fritz and wouldn't rule out Leah, but 2 people got to go home. And I think that Hunter Girl and Nicolina are no-brainers. I think they're the co-front runners to win. And then I'll throw in Noah with them. Although I wouldn't rule out Fritz. And I wouldn't rule out Leah. I just don't think it's going to be the 3 girls, if you ask me. And I'm intrigued to see what the themes are for what they sing this week on the show. So we'll recap it on the Monday podcast. All right, news and notes. We're going to be quick here. With not much going on. A Tampa Lightning fan made a quick move as a camera caught a guy at a Leafs watch party ready to run after the Bolts beat them in overtime. So there was a Lightning fan at the Leafs watch party, and that's really funny. Obviously, the Sixers season ended last night, and James Harden says, "I'll be here," as he says he's staying in Philly next season. Are we sure? And Doc Rivers was very fired up at the podium after getting eliminated as he ripped the reporter. And honestly, Doc Rivers ripping up reporter is not all that stunning to me. He defended his job. There's a lot of people that think that he will be out, including myself. Fans were calling for Jay Wright, and rightfully so. A lot of Sixers fans are Villanova fans because they're both in Philly. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Sixers and their future. And Joel Embiid had some interesting comments about James Harden last night as well. We need to get more into this Philly stuff, but maybe I'll have a guest on for that. So obviously the NFL schedule got released last night. I did a special show on it. And the Broncos schedule release featured Peyton and Wilson, as in Russell Wilson and Peyton Manning. And it was a really cool thing to see. I suggest you guys watch it. And not good news for the Broncos. Jerry Jeudy arrested on misdemeanor charges of second-degree criminal tampering with a domestic violence enhancer. Yikes. Tyreek Hill defends Tua Tagovailoa as Tyreek says he's tired of the talk and tweets a better highlight reel from practice. Bryce Harper has a UCL tear. He won't throw for 4 weeks and will remain in the lineup as a DH. I mean, the Phillies are just wasting spots in the lineup with this. Like, if anything, the Phillies should put him on the injured list and let one of their real DHs DH. They have a team full of them. But the real DH on the team is Kyle Schwarber. UCLA commit J.R. Ritchie had a great way of quieting hecklers down, which was really cool. So the Brooklyn Cyclones park was covered in fog, and it had to be forced off a delay, which was scary. A-Rod interested in the Marlins potentially if they were to become available. That'd be interesting. A-Rod owning the Timberwolves and the Marlins. The Lynx bought out Angel McCoughtry after signing with the team in February, which is crazy. Mike Sullivan says that Sidney Crosby has an upper body injury. And there's no punishment for Sid. And the injury. I meant to say no punishment for Jacob Trouba for injuring Sid. It was just a fluky play. He ran into him. And Trouba said fluky play. Unfortunately, obviously, you don't want to ever see a guy hurt. There won't be a Triple Crown this year as Rich Strike will skip the Preakness, the rest for the Belmont. That's unfortunate. Thursday we'd have Jeff Burns on for the Preakness, and obviously we'll be talking a lot about Rich Strike. Zach LaVine to have knee procedure to fix an injury he's been playing through since January. The Padres are expected to finalize a contract with Robinson Cano today. So that would be an interesting fit on San Diego. And Trayvon Walker receives a 4-year, $37.4 fully guaranteed contract from the Jaguars. And that's it for news and notes for today. Now I'm going to do my best bet of the day. Brought to you by FanDuel. Interesting stuff. Obviously, I'm going to do a game that's being played tonight. And I am going to go with the over 6.5 on the Rangers-Penguins game. There's been over 7 goals in each game so far in this series. Game 1 was 4-3, so 7. Game 2 had 7. Game 3 had 11. Game 4 had 9. Game 5 had 7. This has been an over series. I'm going to go over 6.5 in the Rangers-Penguins game. I'm going to lay a half unit on it. So, over 6.5 at -105 between the Rangers and the Penguins for my best bet of the day. All right, that's it for today's show. I'll be back on Monday recapping everything from the weekend and looking ahead to everything on Monday. Maybe Game 7 of Golden State Memphis, but I doubt it. We'll see. We'll know the second round schedule in the Stanley Cup playoffs as well. So hope you guys have a fabulous weekend, everyone.